Cam. This is my host Brandon. Today we're gonna get into like our weekly show, man. Just get into some recap and some preview. We got some playoff games in college. One just like went final, and then we got the second semifinal going. And we had some other bowl games today too as well. So we'll get into that, man. It was NFL, some college football talk. So before we get started, man, how you doing?
Oh man, I'm good. We have some very juicy and interesting conversations to take place here shortly. Some more favorable than others for some of us. We've had some that have not been favorable for me as of late, but now we're gonna have one that is not so favorable for Cam. But I do feel for him. Some things didn't happen to go the way they should have, and I definitely can feel for his frustrations for sure. But man, we've got a lot of cool stuff to talk about. So you guys get comfortable, get ready, and let's go.
All right, man. So, give a big shout out, man, to our sponsor before we get started, man. Off the Ball Network, man. Follow all of the podcasts on there, man. They got some great guys, man. Great conversations. So follow them, man. They got every sport you can think of, man. Really good network, man. We trying to get it going, get it growing, and that's how that. Like I said, that's all I can do is recommend, man, because we like it and they help us and we help them. So it's a great partnership, man. And then we got Bet US, man, one of the oldest sports books out there. Man, they help everybody that maybe have a gambling issue too, but they help you enjoy your sports betting experience. We have a link in our description, man. They have some great bonus bets, man. Sign you up. It's a new year, man. You want to get into it. Like I said, check it out, man. It's a great opportunity, man. So we're everywhere now, man. So even Apple Podcasts. So just type in Football Frame of Mind podcast, man, and we gonna pop up, man. We got a whole list of episodes, man. If you want to check out all of our shorts, man, especially YouTube, they're booming, man. Got a couple videos with 1,000+ views, man. Got some interesting takes on there from both of us. So check it out, man. And then if you want to just check on YouTube, man, also, we have a whole list of things, man. We got it all organized, man. It's not everywhere. Got our NFL stuff, got our college football stuff, man. You can call us on our BS for our takes because we got it all in order. So, but check us out, man. And lastly, but not least, man, we gotta check out our store, man. Still cold out here, man. We got a nice hoodie on there, man. I don't really know the fabric, but it's soft and it's gonna keep you warm out here. So check it out, man. It's a link in our description and all over our platform, social media. So check us out, man. We're everywhere. So anywhere you get your podcast, your YouTube, you watch whatever, we're everywhere. Check us out, man. And don't forget to check out our store. It's really cool. And give us some feedback on things that we can add as well, like hats, maybe even socks. I don't know. You're into that thing. So, uh, so let's get into actually, you know what? We'll start with college football, man. We'll start with college football. All right. So I am the Bama fan of the two of us. So obviously Bama takes the loss to Michigan in the Rose Bowl, man. Gotta say though, it was a good game. So before I get into like my pity party, um I gotta say it was a good game. I figured it was gonna be a close game. I mean, slobber knocker, as J.R. Ross from WWE used to say. That's exactly what it was, man. I mean, I really wish we could have got Brett Musburger to do the call. I didn't really like um Herb Street and the other guys much. I really liked well actually you know what? It's not Herb Street, it was the other guy I really didn't like. I really wanted Musburger and Herb Street, honestly, because I felt like it would have been more engaging. I kind of really just wanted to put it on mute for real because I was like, bro, I just want to watch the game. So, but it was a good game, man. Michigan wins 27-20. So I was upset, obviously, being the fan that I am. But my take on it, is we talked about it before we got on here extensively. So, but for the viewers, man, my take on it is that the offense really cost Bama this game. Like, I don't think it's a game where you could really say, oh, the defense failed at the end of the game. No, Bama fans understand what kind of game this was, right? This was Jalen Hurts against Clemson, right? We played so good in the first half, and then those snaps for the defense start going up and up and up because you're going three and out, you're fumbling the ball, you're doing things like that. And when you're playing a team that is a ball control team, where they don't need many explosive plays to really slice and dice you, they really don't. They can just beat you up and then maybe hit you with a big play here. But the little play can turn to a big one. You know what I'm saying? The toss can turn into a 50-yard gain, or the simple draw can bust out open for a big gain. And that's really what it was, man. Michigan didn't do anything crazy, like nothing eccentric. They really ran what they wanted to do, and they stayed on schedule, man. So shout out to the Michigan Wolverines, man. They got the win, man. They going to the national championship game. We got the Sugar Bowl going as we speak right now. I think it's 14-14, second quarter. So not really. I'm not really looking forward to it because I'm already defeated. So I'm not really gonna watch it. I really don't care at this point, man. So I just want a good game to watch. I guess if I watch it because I'm heated, man. So now let me get into the Bama part of this, right? So looking at moving forward, Jalen Milroe, if he's going to be an NFL quarterback, you need to do exactly what JJ McCarthy did. Make the throws that you need to make. Okay? The throws to the running backs, the slants, the hitches, the outside throws, things that NFL quarterbacks do on a daily basis. You have to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. He's fast and whatever, right? But you gotta make the throws, man. You gotta, and then you gotta take off, man. Like you want to be a passer so bad, and you want to show people that you can pass so bad. But sometimes you just gotta go. Like, just go. You know what I'm saying? Win the game. Like you said before we got on here, develop in the offseason. We trying to win some games. And if your running ability is gonna help us win, do it. Like just it, right? Worry about the draft and all that stuff later. Because eventually they're gonna know what they can do with you or not. You know what I'm saying? Cordell Stewart was a quarterback. He could play everything. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't really matter. They'll use you how you want to use it. And usually, if you are that good, they will conform to what you do best. Like it's never gonna be, they're not gonna force you to do that. Even with RG3, they tried to play his way, you know what I'm saying? But he got hurt, so they had to change the system, right? You know what I'm saying? Michael Vick, all these mobile quarterbacks have had success, bro. It's not like you're the first one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you gotta learn how to pass. But bro, in college, you gotta win. That's really what's gonna help you. You know what I'm saying? So for him, it starts with him. And I really feel like, he didn't do what he needed to do today. And it cost us, man. The lead 17 to 13, and momentum that the defense is building. They got a couple stops, man. I mean, perfect situation for you to just stick a nail in the coffin and you fumble the ball, man. Like you talk about Bill O'Brien saying that maybe you should play a different position, right? So when people see things like that, that's exactly what they're saying. That's exactly where they get that from. You have to take care of the football, man. Like it's
Mhm.
it's not that hard, man. You know you got to do it. That's just you the quarterback. If you turning the ball over, then you really ain't got no chance. You know what I'm saying? Now, if other people turn the ball over, you can just plug and play those players. But the quarterback, you can't do that, man. That is a situational awareness, man. So, um, like I said, then the center, man, like, dude, like this is week like what is this, 15, 16 or something like that? Bro, we still can't snap the ball, right? Like, come on, man. Like, dude, you can't do that, man. Like, the center quarterback exchange is something that is a day one install. Day one. When you come in from the spring practice, bro, like, that's all y'all do. Take snaps. Like, under center, shotgun, tosses, pitches, things like that. That's day one install. Like everybody that's played football understands that you've seen that. You know what I'm saying? Summer workouts in high school, pee wee, like snapping the ball. Like that's what you do. You gotta have a trust. And the fact that we're in the playoffs and we still having those issues, man, is crazy to me. Crazy. So I know Seth McLaughlin, the center, is leaving. So whoever it is that is coming in, I don't expect to have those same issues next year. I expect that to be completely eradicated, whatever. So I don't know. But in my exit interview for Alabama, next season the quarterback competition is open again. That's all I'm gonna say. Because I didn't see enough. Like I seen enough from Jalen Miro to know that he'll probably be the guy coming in the spring. But after that, I don't know because if he comes in the spring and the other guys like Julian saying because he was on the sideline today, like a lot of those dudes that seeing how this game went, it's a big deal. You know what I'm saying? And as far as all the quarterbacks, Julian Sands got the most potential out of all of them. Now I give some of the guys that were there and in the trenches this year an edge in terms of maybe the day-to-day stuff, but as far as talent, he's got the goods, man. He's got the goods. So when you're looking at it, as a in a whole picture. Coming to the next season, I expect Jalen Miro to be uh quarterback one. I expect Julian Sayin to be in that argument, and I expect Dylan Larnigan to be in that line. Keep in that game. Keep those names in your mind, Brandon, because I don't know what to expect going into next season. There are some things that Jalen Miro needs to fix coming into that, and you can't fix that on air. Like yeah, people understand the situations that he, the problems that he's having are things that can only be fixed in game. So you can't fix that in the off season. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not going against no pressure. You're not going against no defense that's trying to take your head off, right? So you're gonna have to get to the point where you can trust the fact that you're an athlete and that you can throw, right? But use your athleticism. You know what I'm saying? Use it. It's there. God gave it to you for a reason. You might as well use it. You know what I'm saying? Can't nobody mess with you. You know what I'm saying? So I fully expect it to be an open competition, man. And don't be surprised, man, if Julian Sand or Dylan Larnigan wins that because it's a certain quarterback that wins at Bama, man. Like it's not like one thing that pissed me off about Alabama sometimes is the fact that we fell in love with this Tua, this Jalen, this Mac Jones. Well, not even Mac Jones, but those particular two, right? Tua and then Bryce and all those guys that kind of made it fun and pass happy and everything, and we just lost the way we play. You know what I'm saying? It's fun to score points, it's fun to do all that. But when I really had more fun as a Bama fan is when we used to just maul people. I mean, like I said, you experienced that. You know what I'm saying? Now don't get me wrong, y'all gave it back to us. Don't get it twisted. Y'all gave it back to us. But when when I enjoyed being a Bama fan is when we would just maul people on defense, on offense, even special teams. We would just run downfield and hit people. And that's an underlining thing, too, that I saw in this game. Michigan on every kickoff return was down the field. Like they was stopping the kick return like inside the 15, bro.
They wanted it.
Huh?
They wanted it.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, I didn't even think about that until I just said it, bro. Every kickoff, man, that we returned didn't go nowhere. They was all getting knocked back. So I'm like, yo, what's going on? So, like I said, coming in the next season, man, it's a good season, man. Obviously, it's kind of championship or bust. But I think the fact that we got to the playoffs was a win for me because early on I didn't think we were gonna do it. I didn't because it was just too. It was so much inconsistency with Jalen Milroe. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't have inconsistency at quarterback. Like you can say, "Oh, we don't have a good running back," or "We don't have our linebacking core is young," or whatever. But at quarterback, man, bro, you can't do it. So, like I said, I expect it to be an interesting offseason, to say the least, because there's still some guys in the transfer portal. Maybe you bring a guy to push Jalen, and you just bring in a ready-made starter. I know Cam Ward. I know he is declaring
He
for the
declared.
draft,
He declared.
but he could change his mind for the right scenario.
I don't know if you can back out once you've officially declared, though.
It's paperwork you got to submit first. You can
Yeah.
say, "Oh, I declare all I want. I'm going pro." But if you don't submit that paperwork, you could change your mind. If you
They
submit
still have guys. They still have guys in the portal. I mean, I already made a short for it, but I mean, might as well throw it out there. DJU's off the market. He transferred to Florida State in a move that I didn't think that was really going to come to fruition, but
I mean, I think it works, man. I think you've
it
seen
does
a
work.
lot. You've seen. All right, so now off of Bama, now let's get into some other college football stuff. So Florida State is in kind of a weird scenario, right? Because I forgot who said it, but they mentioned this as being kind of a transfer portal culture thing, right? When you build it from within, like Bama, LSU, and then you sprinkle in some transfer portal guys, it changes the culture because people understand the vision and they just grow up with it, right? When you
Hmm.
just like do it the reverse way and do the transfer portal and then sprinkle in recruiting, it's not that successful, and the culture really wasn't there, which is why a
Hmm.
lot of dudes opted out from Florida State because they really didn't want to be there anyway. They came there to do exactly what they did, increase their draft stock or transfer somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what it was, and that's what hurt them. And you see what happened with Georgia. Like they had a lot of transfer portal guys, but not a lot of opt outs. You know what I'm saying? So basically, you ending up with your same team playing against a team that ain't got nobody on there. You know what I'm saying? Now that's not really saying that the game would have went either way, but I think that it would have been a lot more competitive had a lot more guys from Florida State played, but you can understand they was mad about not getting in. But at the same time, like I said, when you build a culture based on people coming from other places, you don't really get a chance to understand what playing for Florida State in the Orange Bowl means.
You don't have a solid foundation. It's just kind of floating on thin air. And then when
Exactly.
somebody pops your bubble, everything just falls to the wayside.
Exactly. So, I expect Florida State to be okay next season. I really don't know what to expect from the ACC, honestly.
We don't even know
Because
if they're even going to be there yet. That's still up in the air. So I mean, we kind of have to play it
exactly.
by ear and see what happens. So it could
Exactly.
be really
So,
good or it could be really bad. I mean, it could go either way depending on like where they go or they stay or whatever.
yeah, so I don't know, man. I really don't know. So it's interesting, dog. It is. So I feel like that game was pretty good, man. But I seen your LSU Tigers, man, play against Louisville, man. Not Louisville. Was that Louisville or that was Wisconsin?
Wisconsin.
Yeah, so I see some good in there, man. Like I said, I wasn't sold on Nuss what's his name? Nussmeyer. That's a
Hmm.
quarterback. Like I wasn't sold on him for real. But you know what? He's got a nice deep ball, man. And it was like touch. You know what I'm saying? And like I was like, man, Only if Milrow could do that. Just float it in there beautifully. You know what
He's a
I'm
gunslinger, dude. He
saying?
can put that ball wherever. That dude's
Bro,
got a cannon.
bro, you can have a cannon with no bullets. What do you
No,
have?
but I'm saying, but like he's got a cannon, but he could drop that ball like in a bucket.
Yeah, a water pool or a pool. If it's a whirlpool, swimming pool or something like that. Cause yeah, it's cool. He can throw. He can throw. He got a cannon, bro. But at the
But
same
I'm gonna
time,
tell
like
you
the
something,
touch
bro.
throws. The touch throws is what
Mhm.
I'm talking about. Like the throw that Nussmeier made to the guy in the back of the end zone, right? You know what I'm saying? Like that was beautiful. It was not the receiver didn't even have to break stride at all. It was just like right there. And like it's just those are throws that I just wish Jalen Milroe would have made, today. Like I just get mad
Well,
at other teams that have good quarterback play, man.
this is my correlation. So how you say your offense failed y'all that game, our defense damn near failed us at that game. Tanner Mordecai looked like the guy who I was talking about in the offseason this game. He was slinging the ball everywhere, man. They scored quick. They got up on LSU like 14 nothing really early in this game. And we had to battle back, and Nussmeier took a little while to get warmed up. Obviously, he's had limited playing time, but he can sling it, man. He can
Yeah,
play. There's
yeah,
obviously a talent drop off between a Jaden Daniels and a Nussmeier, but there's still a lot of potential, a lot of talent there. He just needs to get
yeah.
field time, man. He needs to get practice. He turned it up, man. But our
Yeah.
defense, horrible. No
I
tackling.
I don't
It's
agree. I don't agree, man. I
Nah,
don't
dude.
agree.
Defense was
Bro.
horrible. They could not break down and make tackles. Dude, this is the thing. I'm impressed with LSU's offense dropping that much points on like a top 10 unit on defense. Wisconsin has good talent on offense, but LSU's got way too much talent on defense to be missing tackles and giving up 31 points like that. I just don't. We need a change.
Well, okay, so all right, so to be on the other side of the equation, I actually don't think our defense played that bad today. I really don't think so because I'm looking at the flow of the game, right? So if I'm not mistaken, Wisconsin was up 28 to like 14 or something, right? The
Yeah.
whole game, they only scored three more points for the rest of the game. Now y'all scored all of them. And they only scored three, bro, because they was 28 to 14, and y'all won the game 31 to 35, if I'm not mistaken. So
Yeah,
I'm
but
looking,
they can't even get but they're not even getting the fundamentals right. Like I'll give credit where that's due, but man, like if you can't even get damn tackling down and your angles right, you go into next year with a really good team, and if you still got them issues, man, we're gonna struggle. Like our offense can probably score points, but it's not gonna help when you freaking. This is the thing. You're playing Wisconsin. Think if you start having these issues against an Alabama, you start having these issues against Georgia, Texas, teams that are loaded with talent. That doesn't turn into just 3 points. That turns into a blowout, or that turns into your offense going in an uphill climb that they can't always dig themselves out of. So, I mean, I do give credit where it's due, but I definitely think if you're Brian Kelly and you're the AD, you're exploring options at defensive coordinator because defense held us back this year from making a lot of noise. And you know you can agree with me on that. That if we even had a defense even closer, like let's just say we had a defense anything close to y'all, we'd be having a much different conversation right now about playoffs and accolades and who's in the national championship. It'd be a much different conversation for sure.
bro. Going into next season, bro. I don't even know, dude. Like I don't know. It feels like I don't know. It feels like coming into this season, bro. It's like the same thing going into next season. Like all right, you got Jalen Milroe, but like I wasn't impressed. Like I was actually coming into this game feeling good about Jalen Milroe coming back. But after this game, bro, I'm back to kind of where
Oh,
I
me either.
was. I'm back to where I was when the season started. It's like,
Yeah, you were unsure. You didn't know what to
yeah,
think. You didn't know what we were going to get out of it. Things like that.
Yeah, like I felt like I said before, coming into this season, I felt like Jalen Milroe was going to be the guy. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't know about the other dudes. You know what I'm saying? Because it was really him and Ty Simpson, and then Buckner came in the summertime. So I was
Hmm.
like, nah, I don't really think he's gonna make that much of a jump for real. So I knew coming in this season it was really his to lose, right? But I don't think next season. I think it's even, bro. I think it's even. Like so, like you guys have AJ Swan coming in from Vanderbilt. So I expect Brian Kelly to go with the guy that you know can win you the most games. Like
It's an open competition, and
yeah,
then you
yeah.
got another
I expect
underclassmen
it.
quarterback who's really good too. So I mean,
Yeah, so I expect him to go with the thing. And one thing about Brian Kelly that I like is that he will start the guy that gives him the best chance to win.
yeah, he
And
will.
and at times Saban can be a lot more favoritism. He can show favoritism sometimes. And I get it, man. Sometimes you just coach a certain way. But when Brian Kelly started Everett Golson and they went like 14 and 0 or something like that coming into that championship game against Alabama, I was like, yo, that's a big move, man. Because he was a freshman, you know what I'm saying? You had other guys like I want to say Tommy Reese was on that team as the offensive coordinator for us. So to start a guy that was unproven and a freshman, like that was crazy, man. And then
He's hmm
Ian Book looked,
he's willing to take the chances, man. Look at when he came to us. You had a guy who was a former 5-star quarterback, experienced a little injury issues, but everybody thought he was going to be the guy. And Brian Kelly said, "No, we're going to bring a guy in from the portal. We're going to have open competition." And a lot of people thought that he was going to go with Miles Brennan just based on merit and the fact he's a former 5-star recruit and he could do this and that. And Brian Kelly was like, "No, like this guy's going to give me the chance to win with the offense that I'm running. I'm not going to go off of anything else." And then obviously Brennan went on to never play football again, and we ended up ruining him with Jaden Daniels.
yeah,
So I
so
mean,
man. So yeah, dog. So we are two teams, man, with some quarterback issues, man, coming in the next season. So I don't know, man. I really don't know. Coming in the next season, we really in the same boat. Like, but except switch offense and defense as the key.
yeah.
Because defensively, I think we're gonna be really good next season. Offensively, I just don't know. It just depends on who's starting at quarterback. You know what I'm saying? And with Jalen Milroe, it's like we're gonna be on pins and needles all season long. All season long. If he starts, we're gonna be in the same position that we in this year. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
yeah, man, what kind of game is he gonna have? Is he gonna, make decisions that he should make? You know what I'm saying? What's gonna happen, man? So it's easy to look at it and just like blame the quarterback. But when you got the ball in your hands all the time, bro, it's all on you. You got to make the pitches. You got to make the handoffs right. You got to make sure that you communicate with your lineman where the blitz is coming from. You know what I'm saying? So there's a whole lot that you have to do. You know what I'm saying? And I really didn't do that. And then the demeanor, like I said before we got on here, is something I just didn't like, man. I can't I can't win with a guy that I'm not saying be Caleb Williams or be or Cam Newton, brash and arrogant and all of that. I'm not saying that at all. But when it comes down to those type of quarterbacks, man, like you want to play for a guy like that. Tebow, you know what I'm saying? Like you want to do that. Even Joe Burrow, like even though he wasn't like out there, you could look at him and say, we gonna win this game. Like when LSU and Bama played in that like game of the century, right? Not the 2011 version, but the 2019 version. Like I kind of knew that LSU was gonna win the game because I'm like, bro, not only was Tua hurt, but at the same time I was like, bro, dude just feels like he's unstoppable right now. Like, and we don't have an answer. Like, but you can tell he really wanted to win. Like, it didn't matter what we threw or how we scored. He's like, bro,
He was
I
going to find a
gotta
way to
win.
do it.
I gotta do it, man. Like even Baker, bro, Baker Mayfield, when he was in college, bro, like I get it. He was arrogant and he had a lot of chip on his shoulder. He still does.
Man, that dude had that fire, bro.
But dude, like I don't know, like even when they lost a couple games, you know what I'm saying, in the playoffs, bro, you still felt like they had a shot. Like when I looked at Milrow today, I didn't feel like we had a shot in overtime, bro. I really didn't. And it proved to be right, man. So but like I said, man, shout out to the Michigan Wolverines, man. Winning the Rose Bowl, man. That's pretty good, man. Because I mean,
Right.
technically they would have been in that game anyway, back in the day, because they won the Big
Hmm.
Ten. So
Yeah.
like I said, so it's good, man. And then
I
really
want to.
really kind of the last really Rose Bowl matchup for them for real because the Pac-12 is no longer in existence. So uh kind of last true Rose Bowl game that they will really be in because next year it'll probably be an at-large team, which throws away like it's still a good game. Don't get me wrong, but it's always good when the Big Ten and the Pac-12 or Big Ten and SEC play in that game because it's like that's really kind of the history of it. So I kind of
Hmm.
like that a lot. So I really hate that we losing that. But money calls, man, and that's how it goes nowadays. So but like I said, that's the you got something else?
Yeah, I think you need to give a shout out to Missouri, bro.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, man. That's true. So the game itself, okay, so I watched this game too. So it was pretty cool, man. Obviously, Ohio State had the same issues that Florida State had, some opt outs and everything. But it's not the same thing though. Like because Ohio State still had a lot of talent though. The offensive line felt like they were the same. They weren't missing nobody. But Mizzou really ratcheted up the pressure, man, and they was getting after dude, and that's really how he got hurt, man. They was coming after him. So I really like what Mizzou is doing. Um a lot of the people on the Bama side of things, like the podcasters and things like that, really wanted Eli Drinkwitz to leave. And I was like, bro, why would you leave? We're not talking, you're
He's
not
creating his own culture. He don't have to go nowhere.
exactly, and you in the SEC. Like, bro, you don't have to go
Like, where you
nowhere.
gonna go?
You know what I'm saying? What job is better than this one? You know what I'm saying? That doesn't have a guy. You know what I'm saying? Georgia has a guy. LSU has a guy. Bama has a guy. Texas has a guy. You know what I'm saying? The only jobs that are available that you could probably go to is maybe a Pac-12, well, maybe a Big Ten school now since everybody left, or a Big 12 school, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like, but other than that, everything's below Mizzou right now. Was you gonna go to Texas Tech? That's below Mizzou. Was you gonna go to Kansas State? That's below Mizzou. You know what I'm saying? You could
You're in
go.
a good spot.
You know what I'm saying? You're in a good spot, man. And now since you won like a New Year's Six bowl, it's really big. You know what I'm saying? It's huge. And you beat Ohio State, who really, even with missing players, is still pretty good. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
So I
bro.
mean,
The SEC won some games, bro.
yeah, we definitely did, man. So shout out to Mizzou, man, getting the win, man. I really like Cody Schrader, man. I expect when we get into the NFL draft season, I really want to do a show about the NFL draft, man. Just kind of a deep dive into that,
That can be a series, honestly.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like we could do like a top five quarterbacks, top five linemen or something like that. Just break down position by position, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that'll be really cool, man. But I think Cody Schrader is definitely a top five running back in the draft this year. Because he's just kind of a no nonsense kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't really do all the juking and moving. He's just straight downhill. You know what I'm saying? He see hole, run through the hole, and pick up yards, man. And honestly, that's really what you need in a running back position nowadays.
Especially in the NFL, you don't need flash. You need someone who's just going to get down the field, get yards, move the chains, do what you got to do. If they
Yeah,
can get involved in the pass game, that works too. But if you're gonna, especially like when you're like a team like Tennessee with Derrick Henry, that they're very just when they run, it's like straight down, straight down, straight down, straight down. Get yards, get yards, get like that's kind of what I feel like the running game is turning into. Obviously, and like we said earlier in the season, it still is kind of running back by committee. But I feel
Yeah,
like when people are looking at backs, yeah, you want someone who can catch out the backfield and pass block. But if you're really looking to be like a run heavy team, that's what you want. You want someone who can run like that. You don't need someone that can juke around and run it. No, you just need someone to be able to hit the holes, get down the field, score points, get first down, stuff like that.
yeah, man. As we transition into NFL talk, man, Marshall Falk had a really interesting take on the running backs, man. He, to paraphrase kind of what he said, was the question he was asked was, why is the running back position devalued? And his answer was like, blew my mind, but it was so right. He's like, the running backs devalue the running back position. He's like, I was like, what you talking about? And then I listened to it again. I was like, yo, he's right. He said, look, he said, when I played, I wanted the ball. My backup was just as good as me. So I don't want
Mm-hmm.
him to be on the field more than me.
Yeah,
So he said that these guys, two runs, they tap in the helmet to come out the game.
yeah.
So that's why,
They don't want to be the bell cow. They don't want to
yeah,
that
he's
they
like, so
change the
that's why
narrative.
the running back position is devalued because nobody want to just be the guy. You know what I'm saying? Don't come off the field. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, he's right. He's right, bro.
Nobody wants to be Adrian
Bro, he's
Peterson.
right,
Nobody
man.
wants
I
to
was
be
like, yo, ain't no way, Derrick Henry coming off the field. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I see it all the time. You know what I'm saying? So he was so right about that, man.
good point.
Um, so I was like, dang. But when he said that, I was like, that was some deep thought right there. I was like, they do that a lot. And you know what I'm saying? So that's why running backs probably won't be taken in the first round for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's kind of dipped, man. Because remember back in the day, it used to just be you could count on a running back in the top five.
At least top 5, top 10. You at least had a guy or two guys. You're like, okay, if we need a back and we're in the first round, at least I know I have one or two guys for sure that I can try to move up or down and get.
Yeah, bro.
Now,
Think about, bro. Remember Carnell Williams and Ronnie Brown went like two picks after each other in the top five, bro. I was like,
yep,
dang. I was like, that's good right there. That's a running back production, bro. Have two people on the same team going in the top five, bro. I was like, yo. I mean, days of like, gosh, man, you had all kind of dudes, man. I mean, even though Kijana Carter really didn't have a career, but he was like first overall, bro, at running back. You know what I'm saying? So that lets you know that you needed a guy like that. You know what I'm
even
saying?
our childhoods, man.
Hmm?
You had guys like McFadden and Peterson and all these other
McFadden,
guys going in the
Peterson, you know
same
what I'm
drafts.
saying? Like, bro, like you had some great Ezra James, bro. He was a top 10, top five pick. Ricky Williams.
Yep,
You know what I'm saying? Even though that draft took the draft story took more than what we would talk about, but
yeah,
still, he was a player that you would really trade up to get. Now, I wouldn't trade
yeah.
as much, but I
You're not
mean,
Mike Ditka
yeah, I
either.
wouldn't trade as much, but I can understand why you would pick a guy like that. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, LaDainian Tomlinson was a top five pick. I mean, like the running back position, like if you get a guy like that that can carry the load like that, I think it's a really good thing, man. I feel like it needs to go back to that because
Mm,
I feel like when you are running back by committee is cool if you're like the Patriots, right? Because the Patriots running backs all had different skill sets.
yeah,
Did y'all have Sony Michelle? Did y'all have Sony Michelle?
yeah. We're the
So
ones that
Son
draft.
yeah, so Sony Michelle was kind of your downhill guy. Damian Harris was kind of your change of pace guy. You know what I'm saying? But James White was good at everything. You could line him up at receiver. He could be a slot guy. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
and then I mean, your guy that had like 200 yards and then got benched, Jonas Gray or something like that. Like, I
Yep.
mean, He was good too. So you had way different weapons to use, right? Like that works for a team like that. You know what I'm saying? That you just need a guy that's people that's good at doing their jobs, right? But if you're a team like the Saints and you have a guy like Alvin Kamara, there's no need to go running back by committee. He could do it
Mm-mm.
all. Just feed him, like feed him. Don't matter what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you got teams like the 49ers who are kind of, similar to what you guys do all the time. Running back by committee. That works for them because their system is kind of built on the run. And, jet sweeps. You got a receiver that plays running back sometimes too. So you can have different guys because they do that. But if you don't have the luxury to get valuable guys, not just running backs, but guys that can affect the game in all phases, like you don't really need to do that. You just need one guy to really get the job done for you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I just feel like it needs to go back to that, man. But then again, man, colleges are doing it too. You know what I'm saying? But I fully expect Blake Corum to be one of those guys, though. Like he just has
Mhm.
like he has a suddenness to him, like, and he's kind of like a low center of gravity in a sense, like because he can just stop on a dime and just let his blockers do the thing. He's not like overly aggressive with it. So, like, bro, it was good to kind of see him play the game that he wanted to. And it seemed like he was just at his own pace the whole game. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't breaking no big gains or nothing. 3 yards here, 4 yards here. But then it's like the second half, like, seemed like he was just pacing himself. Then as soon as the fourth quarter started, he started like boom, boom, boom. He started hitting some four, some five, some sixes. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like he got like stronger as the game went on. So whatever team he goes to, they're getting a guy. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see, man. I don't know, but I think that'll be a really good segment for us, man. Going into NFL draft, man. So, but like I said, we can shift focus to NFL talk, man. So, um, man,
Man,
we have some stuff to talk about, man. So,
yeah.
like I said, week 17 was pretty interesting, man. To say the least.
Yeah.
So
Quite a few.
I'm gonna start with with my elephant in the room, right? So I told everybody knows if you watch this already that I'm a Ravens fan, right? So my Ravens decided to destroy my Super Bowl pick, right? So I think I deserve the right to pick to change my Super Bowl team, bro. I think I deserve the right to, man. Only because your Super Bowl pick has been destroyed. Okay. So technically both of our Super Bowl picks have been destroyed. Now, my NFC is sort of trending downward, but still a possibility if they figure it out. But I really want my Ravens to get the Super Bowl, man. I feel like it's time, bro. Like this season looks really good for them, man. Like I said, man, like I said, I've always been a Ravens fan. Let's just say that first and foremost. But man, the show that they put on against Miami, bro. Jesus. What?
56 points.
Bro, 56. And then this is the stuff I like, right? I'm looking at the box score right now. So it's 28 to 13 at halftime, right? They score 28 more points in the second half. They
They
didn't
just kept scoring, bro.
they didn't
I got
sit
Lamar
on
on my team, bro.
they didn't sit on the lead at all. But you know what is way better? The part that I liked about this game the most is the fact that the defense only gave up 6 points in the second half.
Hmm.
Like, bro, like I said, if you watch this program, I told everybody that the Ravens have a Super Bowl defense. Like you know a Super Bowl defense when you see one. Like a defense that can play third downs very well. Play the ability to stop the run, stop the pass, can be able to morph how the offense is attacking them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and having people that make differences all over the field. You know what I'm saying? That's the Super Bowl defense to me. If you can lose a couple guys and then plug and play, right? Because Marlon Humphrey wasn't playing early this year, but now he's back. Now the defense looks even better. You know what I'm saying? So this team looks good, man. I told you the for the Ravens to win the Super Bowl when we started talking about this. They needed Lamar Jackson needed to do two things. He needed to trust his passing ability because he's good at it. He don't have to do too much. He know he's good at it. Just he can throw, he know how to check it down, he knows how to do all of that. And he had to cut down on the turnovers because that was really what was hurting us. You know what I'm saying? Trying to do too much when you really don't have to. Just take what's there and go from there. You know what I'm saying? Your defense is really good. So you don't have to just don't lose the game. You know what I'm saying? Make your plays, do what Lamar does, but cut down on the turnovers. And just trust your receivers because you got some now. Like people want to say, oh man, you can't pass, bro. But being a Ravens fan, I knew how Marquise Brown dropped hella touchdown passes, bro. Hella touchdown passes, dog. So I'm like, yo, he looks good, man. So like I said, man, the like I said, I want us to win the Super Bowl, man, just because I want to just end all this Lamar Jackson can't win stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because if he gets a Super Bowl, he's up there in the top five in quarterbacks, man. It changes the whole argument because I feel like everybody looks at the Josh Allens of the world, the Patrick Mahomes of the world, the Joe Burrows. You know what I'm saying? All those guys that win games. Like him winning a Super Bowl would change all of that. You know what I'm saying? And it'd be good for, quarterbacks of his similar skill set. You know what I'm saying? I think people, we talked about Jalen Milroe, right? Throughout this whole thing. A guy like that, if Lamar wins the Super Bowl, teams might be more willing to draft a guy like that because, they can they can win. It's showing you can win with it. You know what I'm saying? For the longest time, people haven't been able to win like that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's really broke that ceiling on the mobile quarterback winning you a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong, Russell Wilson won a Super Bowl, but it was not the same thing. We're talking about being using your mobility as like your offensive weapon. You know what I'm saying? Everybody you think kind of fell short. Randall Cunningham, you know, Steve McNair, you know what I'm saying? Dante Culpepper to a certain extent, you know what I'm
Cam
saying?
Newton.
Cam Newton, Michael Vick, all these guys fell short at a certain point of winning a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Outstanding players, but haven't broke through the ceiling of winning a Super Bowl. So I feel like if Lamar does do that, that changes everything for the future of the mobile quarterback. And that goes for not just the black guys. We're talking about the white guys too. Because there's some white dudes out there that can scoop and throw. So like look, if Lamar wins, it's like, yo, we need something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I expect him to change everything if he can get it done, man. So like I said, man, like I said, I want to see this AFC Championship game though. Like I really
Hmm.
want to see it. Like this is the matchup I want to see. I don't want to see any other AFC Championship matchup but this one because Miami's been a thorn in our side anyway because they're just so damn fast. Like you know what I'm saying? Like they got crazy speed everywhere. So I really want to see this matchup, man. But my Ravens are 13-3. Um, about probably I don't know if they locked up the first round bye, but pretty sure they'll probably do it. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't be so sure to say that Lamar won MVP yesterday. So I really think so. You know what I'm saying? I think it'd be him and uh
CMC.
yeah, yeah, yep. I think so. So, but like I said, dog, I don't know. But this look good, man. Look real good. Real good. I like it. I like it. So, like I said, I'm gonna stand on my Super Bowl pick though, because I made the pick. So I'm gonna make my bed and sleep in it. But the Ravens fan in me is rooting for the Ravens. So I'm excited, man. Like I said, so we can get into some other games, man. This past week, because it feels like this week was weird, wasn't it? Like the
No, they
game,
had some good games. They got
yeah,
definitely some
like
stuff
it
to
felt
talk. But
so.
teams that should have won didn't win. And I've got a few games that I feel like we need to touch base on.
Bro, hold up before you get in there, man. I see the score of the Bills game, right? Against the Patriots, bro. Like, dude, whoever y'all get to coach y'all team is good, bro. Oh my God. The team that y'all have is not this bad. Like, it's not, dude. Like, bro, I'm telling you, your team is not bad, bro. I hearing things like Brian Flores being your coach, and I'm hearing things like they might go after Josh McDaniels. I'm like, kill
No.
kill the Belichick tree right now. It stops right now. Don't hire nobody from his tree no more. You can't do it. Leave it alone. I would hire someone else, man. Somebody else. Like, but one takeaway, and then we'll get into the games that you want to do. But I saw this score and I was like, bro, they've really been good in a lot of games this year, and just inept play calling and things like that just really messed them up. One thing, Mac Jones will be the starter next year. Don't care about it at all, because you bring in Zappy. That's his name, Zappy. Is it
Yeah.
Zappy or Zap?
Zappy.
Okay. Dude, he's not the answer, bro. I'm sorry. The three interceptions he threw probably cost y'all the game. So no, he's not the answer. So I'm good. I'm good on that experiment. I'm sorry. He's not gonna pull a Tom Brady over Bledsoe. He's not doing it. Yugi just needs somebody to help Mac Jones succeed, because the defense is good. To hold this team to 27 points, and they have weapons galore. I'm talking about James Cook. I'm talking about Stephon Diggs. All these guys they have on offense, man. To hold them to 27 points shows that defensively, y'all got some studs on there. So I'm good on that. So that's all I really wanted to say, man, because I seen that score and it blew my mind. So I'm just, hey, y'all need a quarterback, bro. That's it.
That's all we
Not a
need.
quarterback, not a quarterback, but
No.
not a quarterback, not a quarterback.
It's time, bro.
Nah, man, not a quarterback. But y'all need a guy that knows how to coach offense a little bit. Because I don't know what is going on with Bill Belichick and why Matt Patricia, who's a defensive guy, is calling plays. And
He's not
Bill,
calling plays for us.
no. But I'm saying though, like he was though.
Last year. Last year.
Yeah, but I'm saying though, like situations like that, why is that even?
Yeah,
Why is that
I
even a
agree.
thing?
I agree.
You know what
But
I'm
I
saying?
just
And
I agree with that perspective. But I've been a Patriots fan for like the last 20 years, so I've gotten to see the peak and the pinnacle. I've gotten to see the intermediate, and I've gotten to see the bottom. And no disrespect to Alabama quarterbacks, no disrespect to Mac Jones. He's not the guy. I think you bring him in next year to compete. I think you draft a guy, and you just see what happens. I think you get. I mean, if Bill's really gone, you get a fresh face in there, someone that can actually do the job, and we just see what happens, man. Defensively, you're really good. All you need is some competency on offensive play calling and a guy running the ship, and maybe a fresh face at quarterback, and that's all you need. That's really, realistically, I think all they need, because the organization, great culture of winning, got 6 Super Bowls, like is there. Now, what are you going to do with it now?
yeah, I mean, look, to be honest with you, the what's funny about this whole scenario, right, is this played out in like an NFL Madden franchise for me. Like after like Brady left, the Patriots was drafting in the top five for like the next 2 or 3 seasons, and then they finally got a guy, and then it changed for them. But like I was like, bro, this feels like a franchise for me. Like I was like, yo, the Patriots really was losing like this before, and I was like, damn, why? And then they get a guy, change coaches, and they back to winning again. And I was like, okay, cool, cool, cool. So, but what games you want to talk about from last week, man?
Yeah, so you're talking about Super Bowl pick. Let's talk about your supposed NFC representative. They're on a downward spiral. I'm sorry, like they didn't lose a blowout game, but there is no excuse that you lose to an Arizona Cardinals team. That obviously they got Kyler Murray back. That's a very good situation for them. There's
Like
no
that.
excuse that you're giving up 35 points to them. Jalen Hurts didn't throw for a lot of yards. He got the ball in the end zone 3 times, turned the ball over. But I'm going to go back to the same thing that I've been going back to. They cannot run the football at all.
Mhm.
They can't. I'm sorry. No disrespect. I've got DeAndre Swift on my fantasy team. And if it wasn't for Lamar Jackson, and if it wasn't for another team on this we're going to talk about, I would have lost because DeAndre Swift couldn't get anything going. 13 carries, 61 yards. Obviously, defensively, you shouldn't be giving up this many points. But Kyler Murray's an electric quarterback, man. And I mean, he's got something to prove. He's trying to prove that he can be worth the money that he's getting paid, whether being in Arizona or somewhere else. I'm sorry. If you're supposed to be the NFC favorite, there's no way in hell that this should even be up for debate. Uh, you dropped 31 points, and it was not enough because you gave up 35. Dude, I mean, I don't know what else to say at this point, man. They're sitting at 11-5, and the question for who's going to be the number one seed in the NFC is still up for debate. It's still up for grabs, which let's just say week 3 or 4, or even week 8 to 10, neither one of us would have said that this would even be up for question. We would have picked Philadelphia to be the clear-cut favorite.
Yeah,
Obviously, the 49ers had dropped a few games, so we were starting to slide on that. But I've definitely got the 49ers as a more complete and cohesive unit right now. I am not sold on anything the Eagles can do on offense or defense right now. This is scary. This is
yeah,
very scary. Nick Sirianni needs to figure out what the hell they're doing because right now, this team doesn't even look like it can make it out the wild card round.
yeah.
No
I agree.
disrespect, but
I
this is
agree.
very alarming. Good for the
Well,
Cardinals getting their fourth win on the year, but from an Eagles perspective, this is very, very eerie and very disturbing to see you losing this game the way you did.
yeah, I agree, bro. I'm looking at the game right now, right? So, like I said, you look at all right. So you look at the box score because really, like I pay attention to the box score a lot because that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like the flow of the game. I can see it without even kind of looking at it, right?
Yeah.
So when I look at the box score, it looks like a team like at the end of the first half, we're talking 21-6. So this game stinks of a team that thought this game was over at halftime because they're what before this game 3-12. So I felt like the Eagles thought they had this game, and then the Cardinals just said, "Look, we're not making the playoffs anyway, and we're
We're
just
gonna
gonna
split.
play. We're just gonna come out here and just play our game." And whatever they did worked because the Eagles just didn't do nothing. Like it felt like from what this is telling me, the Cardinals came out here and played their tails off on defense and offense in the second half because I mean they score what is that 29 points in the second half, so like and the Eagles scored 10 all second half. So this just thinks of a team that thought they had the game won at halftime and was completely blitzed after that. And it just couldn't stop the bleeding. You know what I'm saying? And it's more of for me, the concern for the Eagles is not offensively because they put up 31 today or
Mm-hmm.
yesterday. But it looks like defensively, which I was saying, which I thought was going to be the thing that put them in the Super Bowl, is just failing them. Whether it be, I mean, I can just look at the team stats. Like, there's no reason why you know the 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 Cardinals should have 32 first downs. You know what I'm saying? Not with that defense. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and then I'm looking at the grand scheme of things. The problem is the Russian defense. That's the biggest issue right now. Because you can beat somebody that passes for 228 yards in a game, right? If that's
Yeah,
all they're going to get, you can beat them. But on the flip side, you give up 221 on the ground. Like, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's
that is
crazy to
crazy.
me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, like, and then I look at, and then what makes this even more cringy is the fact that they lost at home. Like, they lost this game at home, man. Like, that's the craziest thing right now. Like, I mean, you can go to a couple things, man. One, like their team is not getting off the field on third downs. Like, then you got the Russian problem, Russian defense problem. Like, that's an issue. There's no reason why the Cardinals should do this to you. Like, but then again, every loss they've had so far this season has been, their defense. I mean, the 49ers beat them bad, you know what I'm
Eat
saying?
that.
The Browns beat them, I believe. So, I mean, the Cowboys beat you, you know what I'm saying? And that really wasn't that close, to be honest with you. So, you look at a game like this, like it's really some questions you need to ask yourself, man, on defense as well. Like, what are they gonna do defensively to stop the bleeding? You know what I'm saying? Like, cause offensively they didn't do too bad. I mean, obviously you got outgained by a whole lot. Uh, but I mean, like defensively, that's an issue for me, man. Like, and then one thing before we move on, man, is time of possession. Like when you look at this game, the the Cardinals held the ball for almost 40 minutes of this game.
So they control the
39,
tempo
39 minutes and 39 seconds.
compared to how much time did the Eagles have?
And the Eagles had the ball for 20 minutes and 20 seconds.
That'll lose you a game, bro, for
Bro,
sure.
like that's crazy differential, man. And
Double.
what's crazy is I actually thought the Eagles would be that team that would kind of wear on you. Like ugly the game up, you know what I'm saying? Some passes here, some comfortable passes for Jalen Hurts, because obviously he's still growing as a passer. But comfortable in the flow of the offense, but a power team nonetheless. Like we got a big, strong quarterback, so he can take some hits in the run game, right? So we're gonna mix it up with between Hurts, Swift, I forgot the other backup running back name, but mix it up between them and their time possession would look like this more nights than anything. And the fact that they have this crazy um uh one third and one or fourth and one play that they work that it works wonders. They almost never miss out on a fourth and one or third and one when they really need it. So the fact is they'll always be able to move the ball. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that they have 20 minutes of total possession, like that just screams issues to me, man, that you're not doing what you need to do. And remember,
Hmm.
like last week or a couple weeks ago, when I said that Jalen Hurts doesn't he shouldn't pass the ball more than 25 times a game. Well, he didn't, and they still lost. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, and he didn't have a terrible game either. You know what I'm saying? He had like one turnover. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I don't know, man. I don't know how you fix this team, but they're like you said before you started, they're in shambles, man, and it's not looking good. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what to really make of the Eagles, man. But my Super Bowl pick is crumbling right before my eyes, man. So I don't know. I don't know. Now, one of my Super Bowl picks, I'm hoping crumbles because obviously I want my team to win. But on the other side, I'm not getting that matchup that I was hoping for, man, because I don't even think the 49ers, I don't even think that's going to be a game for real. I don't think the Eagles make it that far anymore.
You know,
I
'cause
don't
the
know.
NFC's got more good teams than just like they got at least four good teams that can make a run out of the NFC for sure.
Yeah, I agree. So, I mean, I don't know, man. And then you still gotta play the winner of the NFC South, whoever that is. You know what I'm saying? Who says that team's not that good? Whoever it is, you know. So
Mm-mm.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I'm not. The Eagles really messed me up with that one, man. So they messed a lot of people up with that one, honestly. So
For sure.
yeah. So you got another game you want to get into before we get into last week preview?
I think we can get into week 18 because they got some pretty interesting matchups to say the least in week 18.
Okay, no, man. Cool. All right, so um, I take. Well, hold up. Before we get into that, man, let's talk about the standings, man. Before we get into that,
Yep.
let's see exactly what we're working with coming into this last week. So, if we're looking at, so I believe the Chiefs clinched their division, so that's over with. Um, I don't know if the Dolphins did theirs either. Hold up.
Well, they have a game this week between them two that could be the deciding factor. They got to play each other this week, Miami and Buffalo, which is a high stakes game for sure.
Okay. All right. So let me pull up this the playoff picture, man, because that'll make it easier to talk about, right? And scenarios and such things like that. So,
Let's see. Let's see. All right, you're looking at the AFC or the NFC?
I was just looking at the playoff picture, bro. It wasn't even specific. I was just kind of
So,
looking it up, trying to see what the deal is. Okay, so all right, so it's saying it's like three playoff spots available, right? So the AFC and the AFC side of things, the Ravens have clinched a playoff spot. The Dolphins, Chiefs, and Browns have all clinched playoff spots. So the
yep,
teams that are left are the Jaguars, Bills, Colts,
Bills,
and the
Colts.
Texans and the Steelers are all in the hunt. So
Mm-hmm.
with the I expect the Bills to make it.
That means they got to win this week, then.
Yeah, I expect them to make it, but I also expect the Dolphins to be in there as well.
Yeah,
Well,
they'll
actually,
both be.
actually, the Dolphins are already in there. I take that back. The
That's what I'm
Dolphins,
saying.
yeah,
Buffalo just needs to get a dub just to solidify their spot because
yeah,
Jacksonville
yeah,
and Indy are both at 9-7.
yeah. Uh, Jeez,
But it's looking like Buffalo's got a guaranteed path to the
uh,
playoffs. It's just the other spots.
yeah, and gosh, I would love to know what the scenario is for the Steelers to get in. That would
I'm pretty sure a lot of dominoes to fall for them to squeak
Yeah,
in.
that would be wild. So I'm like, I want to know what the scenario is for them.
Houston's got a better chance. Houston's percentage wise has a better chance than Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
Damn, I didn't expect the NFC. I did not expect the NFC to look like this.
no, not at all, man. Not at all. Like, to,
Wow. I mean,
okay,
look at Dallas, dude. Dallas is on top of the NFC East right now because I think they've got the win advantage over Philly.
okay. So looking at the NFC, right? The NFC, 49ers, the Cowboys, Lions, Philly,
Browns and
and
Eagles.
the Rams have all clinched the spot. So it's only two
Mhm.
spots left. So, so the winner of the NFC South is going to be in there regardless. So technically, that's only one
Yeah,
spot left.
The Saints need to win their game, and Tampa needs to lose their game for them to get in. So I'm assuming Tampa just needs to win their game, and they're automatically in, if I'm not
Right.
mistaken.
And then that leaves
Packers.
the NFC North. Whoever
Hmm.
that will be the next team. Because I don't even know how the Falcons would make it at this point. I don't
They
know how the
not.
Vikings would make
They
it.
got a 10% chance, dude.
Yeah, so that's some crazy stuff right now, you know.
Looking like it might probably be either the other two teams will probably be between like Green Bay and Seattle, but I'm feeling like Green Bay is probably going to find a way in there.
Yeah, and that's a team that's actually pretty sneaky, man. Like, you know, they're pretty sneaky. They're not a easy out for anybody. The Bucks aren't either, honestly. Like they aren't either because they kind of hit.
They're
They hit
giving
the.
me OG Seattle Seahawks vibes.
Yeah, they just like a scrappy team. You know, if they're late in the
Hmm.
game, I feel like they can get you. You know, like so. I don't know. But that playoff that scenario is really interesting. I didn't even know the Rams had clinched it. Honestly,
I didn't know either. I didn't see that coming, to be honest with
yeah, I
you.
didn't either. I think we picked them to be like at the bottom of the division. Yeah,
Well, I think we picked them in third. I think we picked them. So
nah,
I'm pretty
man.
sure we picked San Fran and Seattle. I don't think I picked them to be last over Arizona.
I don't
I
know.
think we both said Arizona was going to be at the bottom of the barrel.
Man, we were kind of right about that one. Yeah, he's right about that one for sure, man. But I think if we had to revisit all our picks, I really think we picked the 49ers to be in. I think we picked the Cowboys to sneak in there as a wild card. So
Yeah, because we had the
surprisingly
Eagles to
there
win the division.
for the Eagles to win the division. So
We
both
had
teams in the
Detroit winning the
playoff.
North.
We picked Detroit, and I felt like the Rams. I feel like I don't think we picked the Rams to be in
Hmm.
there. I know we picked the Saints to be in there.
Yeah, we picked the Saints out of the South.
Yeah, because we felt like that they had the best quarterback of everybody in the division.
Oh,
Yeah, so not good, man.
I feel like Colin Coward.
Yeah, yeah, bro. Like I didn't think that at all, man.
But
Everything else is kind of chalk. We pretty much knew the Bears weren't gonna make it. We
mhm.
pretty much knew that. Well, we was actually kind of high on the Giants, weren't we? Just a little.
Well, because you got to think, Dayball had got some really good play out of Daniel Jones last year. I think our biggest thing was, can he continue to build on that? And then Saquon's durability and everything was kind of up in the air too. But now, a lot of that then went completely out the window. We haven't talked about the Giants at all this season,
Nope, not at all.
at all.
So, well, we'll do a kind of a revisit, when we get into like the playoff bracket and stuff like that.
Yep.
But getting into getting into week 18, can't believe we are here, man. We at the last part of the thing, man. So, like I say, even though Alabama took that loss today, I still got my Ravens, man. Like we ain't a basketball podcast, so I'm not happy about my Lakers either. So don't really have that. So I've been pretty bad on this sports year so far, man. My Cardinals sucked in baseball. The Blues sucked in hockey. Let's see. The Lakers won the in-season tournament. Yay. Uh, Alabama lost. So my Ravens are my
Ain't
only.
looking too good right
My Ravens are
now.
my only hope.
We both had our struggles, so I
Yeah,
understand.
man. Yeah, man. I don't know who you like in basketball, but I'm pretty sure you're probably more happy than I am with my Lakers right now. unless unless you like the Detroit Pistons, and I got you beat.
No, no, no. They're like Charlotte Bobcats bad.
Bro, bro, your best I know it's not a basketball podcast, but I gotta put this out there. Your best player demanded a trade because y'all lost 28 games in a row.
It's understandable, man.
Bro, come on, man. Like, yo. I can't fathom that, dog. 28 games in a row. Like all the plane trips, all the how would you feel losing 28 games in a row, bro? Like
Not very
every
happy.
game after that first loss, you're like, oh well, we'll get them next week. Like 28 of those, I'm gonna
You
get them
stop
next
saying
week.
you get them next week after like 20.
I think after 10, you're like, all right, well, what are we doing wrong at 10? Gosh, man. Like, I don't know how those teams in the NFL that went winless, I don't know how that works. Like, how do you,
Oh, that could be a discussion. Me and you could have a whole video about. Honestly, that's probably not a very bad idea. Something to talk about one day because there are definitely some scenarios we could get into.
yeah, 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 yeah. So, all right, so getting into, close it, we'll close it on our preview, man. So let's get into this week 18, man, because we got some good games, man. It's a really good game, man. We could talk for hours, man. We could talk about football for hours. I think we need to do a live stream for real. We need to
Uh,
really do a
I
live.
don't know if people want to hear us talk about football that long because we talk about it all day.
Yeah, but you know what? We could do like a I seen a guy on Twitch. He did like a 24-hour stream. I was like, bro, how could
Yeah.
you do that?
I don't
But
know if I'm built like
nah,
that.
man, not anymore. It's been a while since I've been out of the military, so I ain't doing no
Use right.
24-hour shifts. I'm good.
Use
I,
right.
yeah, I'm good. I can't do it no more, man. I don't even know if I can drink no energy drinks to prepare me for that. Like, bro, my eyes are hurt. But
Facts.
all right, so I guess I'll start with my Ravens going against the Steelers. I mean, pretty good game. It's at home, so I don't know. I mean, it's a headline right here, like posted a couple hours ago from Yahoo Sports that says that John Harbaugh doesn't even know if he's gonna play the starters in this game. You know what I'm saying? Which is I really don't, I wouldn't really care about that, honestly. Honestly, I'd be like,
You
cool.
got you got home field advantage, huh?
Yeah, already. So,
Oh, well, then you could pretty much do like what the Saints do when they won the Super Bowl. I mean, they rested in the last game or two because they knew they had the number one seed locked up. I mean,
yeah, so I don't really know how I feel about that because I'm still kind of old school with it. I really just you want to play keep sharp, you know what I'm saying? Because when you have like that first round bye in the playoffs, man, like technically sitting your starters out kind of be a detriment to you in the long
yeah,
run because technically
yeah,
you're sitting
momentum.
out for like 2 weeks, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. But like I said, I wouldn't be opposed to it or for it anyways, you know what I'm saying? So either way, I'm kind of split in between on that one. But I mean, for the Steelers, it's a more important game for them than it is for us anyway, because they're trying to make the playoffs and everything. So they would have to win this game to even be in consideration for a playoff spot. So, and I don't like the Steelers at all, but I like their franchise though. You know what I'm saying? Like I like their organization. Like so the fact that they had three coaches in the last like 50, 60, maybe even 70 years, like that's consistent to me. You know what I'm saying? So many coaches have been fired by other teams. I mean, they're on their third coach in the last 60 years. Like, the Packers are on their like 25th coach in their history. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, bro, that's wild to me. But I kind of want Tomlin to make the playoffs, man, because like I don't know, I just like him in the playoffs because he keeps winning. So he ain't won a Super Bowl in a while, of course, but yeah, so what? He's in the playoffs. So like if he can keep getting in the playoffs, I think it might make more people, willing to wait. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Rather than just pull the plug. So I don't know. I'm just thinking bigger picture, but like I said, I think I don't know. It depends on if the starters play. Because I don't really know. If they play, then I pick the Ravens to win. But if they don't, then I'm not really that big a deal over it for real. I'm not really that big deal. So I don't know. But we in the playoffs, so that's all that matters to me. So I don't know. I can't really pick the game because I don't really know what's gonna happen. I don't know who's playing. But
Hmm.
like I said, I think it'll be a fun game. I mean, those games are always fun anyway because it's a rivalry game. So, but let's see, man. I want to talk about uh, I want to talk about I want to talk about the Broncos and Raiders, man. It's not like a big important game, but it's an important game for the off season, in my
Hmm.
opinion. So the bigger scope of this game to me is one, Russell Wilson. Obviously, we haven't really touched on it for real, because it really sucks, because how it went. But at the same time, man, Russ has been really bad. So I mean, hey, what can you really say? You know what I'm saying about that anyway? Like to get the money that he's making and be playing this bad, I'm okay with Sean Payton benching him, right? But what I'm not okay with is just how it went. You know what I'm saying? It could have been handled a different way.
Yeah.
So the decision was fine. It's just how it went, you know. But for the Raiders, man, I mean, they took a close loss to I think the Jaguars, wasn't it? I think it was the Jaguars. I think they played the Jaguars. I'm not really sure who they played the last game they played.
They lost to the Colts by 3.
There we go. There we go. So I know it was a close loss. So I don't know what it is, but this game is like a foreshadowing for the future on what direction you want to go in. But if you're the Raiders, you know what I'm saying, maybe you have your coach right now. You know what I'm saying? Or do you want to entertain uh the John Harbaughs of or the Jim Harbaughs, I mean. You want to entertain him because if he wins the national championship, he's done with Michigan. Done. Like he's not coming back. You know what I'm saying? So you obviously know he wants to go to the NFL. So it could be an interesting opportunity there. You know what I'm saying? He's a really it's not the same as Antonio Pierce, his effect on the locker room. But Jim Harbaugh's a football guy. Like I don't think you have anything to worry about. Like if they were to hire Jim Harbaugh, I would be okay with that because he's a proven winner, and I think the players will love him because he's just ball. He don't really care about none of that riffraff, all of that. He's not trying to change the culture for real. He might actually enjoy the Raiders culture right now. So he's just that guy. You know what I'm saying? The same guy that was did a sleepover with a recruit. As crazy as that sounds, he really did a sleepover with a recruit. So I think he's cool in my book, man. Like I don't really get into the whole cheating scandal, man, because dude, people still sign. You know what I'm saying? It's not a baseball show, but I really didn't care about the Astros stealing signs, bro. I mean, everybody does it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody does it in every sport. Everybody does. So it's not really a big deal. So I don't really think none of that tarnishes the coach he really is. But we're getting into the Broncos, right? Russell Wilson has a clause in his contract that says that if he's on the roster and passes a physical March 1st, all of his money is guaranteed at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, if you're Sean Payton and you know what you got to deal with coming back next season, you kind of nipped it in the bud with all of his extracurricular shenanigans, no offices and all of that. But can you win? Because believe it or not, when this season started, they was like 1-5, if I'm not mistaken. It
Yeah.
was really bad. But they turned it around in the middle half of the season and was like 500, you know? So the talent is there. I just don't know what you want to do, you know?
I don't think that's Sean Payton's guy.
I don't either. I don't even think it's management's job or QB choice because
No.
technically he was brought in by the last ownership. So in
Exactly.
the way that Uncle Shannon Sharp is talking, everybody's not happy about this. You know what I'm saying? One, his play, the contract he got, which is not showing up on the play. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know, man. Like, because you can't trade him.
He doesn't have any
Because-
trade value. Nobody's going to take on
Exactly.
a big contract with that much guaranteed money if they know they're not going to get a return for it. So if the Broncos are smart, which I think they are now compared to where they had been, they're gonna find a way to finagle these numbers. And then 9 times out of 10 probably gonna cut him because they want to get out of that guaranteed money. They don't want to get stuck with so much dead money to where they can't manage the salary cap the way they want to. I mean, you might find someone who wants to bite on that, but dude, the chances of you getting somebody, okay, you could find a trade partner.
I,
Hypothetically speaking, you can find someone who bites on a trade, but who is going to be a trade partner with the Denver Broncos with that contract, all that guaranteed money? You can make a trade, but you're not going to get half of what you freaking want out of it. You might get some late round picks, maybe a couple filler players. You're not going to get your return on that. So the question is, do I just make a bogus trade and get him off my books? Or do I just find a way to eat some money and just cut him altogether? Because I don't see any scenario where he's on this roster next year.
yeah,
I'll
either
give him
way.
credit. He played better down the stretch. But like you said, like I said, no disrespect to Russ. I don't know what's going on him personally, mentally. His play on the field is lacking. I don't think he's the answer for them. I don't think he's Sean Payton's guy. And if you're not Sean Payton's guy and Sean Payton's running the show, you're going to be out of town and he's going to find who he needs. A la Drew Brees when nobody wanted to give him a chance. He knew he needed somebody that's going to fit his system and play the way he wanted to play. He's going to do the exact same thing here, whether it be the draft, trading, free agency, whatever the case may be.
I think they have an opportunity to move up though. So they kind of gave up a lot to get Russ. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
think they traded a couple of first rounders to get him, and then he signed with them. So if you package a deal and give one of the top teams in the draft, Russell Wilson, Jerry Judy, and Garrett Bowles, their left tackle. If you can put all three of them in a deal to move up to get another quarterback, I think you
Yeah.
entertain it. The
Yeah, you
only
just got to throw some picks in there too, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, but not even the picks. That's fine. You can throw picks in there. But I'm just worried about the three team, not three team, but a 3 player deal between Russ, Jerry Judy, and Garrett Bowles. I think if you could do that, I think it could work. I think it could because if you're a team moving up that would need a receiver that I think just needs a better quarterback, to be honest with you, I think Jerry Judy's really good. And I'm not being biased because he went to Bama, but I think he's really good. I just think everything that's happened with them has kind of hurt his morale a little bit because it's hard to go from now you expect it you expect to go to a bad team when you're really good, right? But at the same time, I just think that them losing so much, you know what I'm saying? Like losing so much early, it has an effect on people, that win national championships in college, Like if you're not used to losing, it really kind of can make you kind of feel bad sometimes, Like, dude, I don't know how to do it. Some people just don't handle it well. And I feel like that's kind of what has happened to Jerry Judy. Like he hasn't handled it as well as he should have. Um, but I feel like if they want to move on, I feel like putting him in a package deal, you get rid of Russ, his contract, maybe split it in half, or y'all take more, or whatever, and then you package Judy. That gives that team a number 1 receiver if they don't already have one. Um, they have Russ, who still has value. He's not terrible, and then you get Garrett Bowles, who's a left tackle. He's still kind of young too, I think. So you got those things. I think you can do a rebuild like that, sort of. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, you might just want to say nah and draft your own guy, but I think if you're a team in the top 5, you can entertain that. Top 10, you can
Yeah.
entertain that because it's
I guess it depends on the
some really good
organization.
quarterbacks. It's some really good quarterbacks, man, in this draft, man, that you can really help your team. You got Michael Penix. You got Caleb Williams, you got a Drake May, and you got a Jaden Daniels. You know what I'm saying? So then I don't know what Cam Ward's draft stock is, but you could sneak him in there maybe in the first round if somebody really likes what they see in him. He could sneak in there as well. So you got five options, man. And it's remember that list I sent you of teams that need a quarterback? That's more than five teams on that list, bro. So hey, I don't know. But I think this game between the Raiders and them is a foreshadowing for the future, man. I know I
They're
went
both
long
yeah
winded.
quarterback.
I know I went long winded, but that's one game that I'm really interested in seeing how it flows. Because obviously Russ is benched, so he's not playing. But for the Raiders, on the other hand, like, hey, what are we gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Because the losses that they've had since they switched coaches haven't been that big. you know. So yeah, you could tank and then draft a guy, but the team isn't that bad though. That's the thing. Like the team's not terrible, man. So a quarterback change may be good, man. And the way that the Raiders play, I wouldn't be surprised if they go after Michael Penix or Jaden Daniels. I would be surprised,
Depending
especially
on how
not
the
Jaden
draft board
Daniels.
falls.
Especially not Jaden Daniels. I don't feel like teams love him as much as they should.
There's a
You know,
lot of talk of him climbing up to maybe be QB2. Like
man.
they might think he might be a top five pick depending on how everything falls.
Yeah, I've been hearing that too, man. But I still don't think that they love him that much. I just don't think so. I don't think the love is there yet. I think people are in love with the fact that he won the Heisman, but not his actual skill set.
I think it's gonna come down to the combine too, and the pro days and how everything shakes out with that. And that's gonna kind of see, okay, like this style of play fits with our system, doesn't really fit with what we want to do. Like I could really see it going any kind of way. Because this is my thing. You haven't been having as much talk about Caleb Williams. I know we're kind of getting off the thing, but like now there's a lot of talk that he might not be the consensus number one pick,
I
depending
don't
on
think so
who
either.
gets that pick or who's moving up. And that could throw everything into limbo because then we really don't know what to expect. Because let's say he doesn't go number one. Let's say under some crazy circumstance, let's say I don't know who's got the first pick. Let's say they take Jaden Daniels number one overall. Not saying it's going to happen. Don't think it's going to happen. They take him first overall. That throws everything out the window. Because now it's like, oh man, first team passes on. What happens if another team passes on? Now you're having a much different conversation with bam. Like, do we really want to take this guy? We still got three or four other guys. Like, do we want to experiment quarterback? Do we want a pocket passer? Like, and that could change a lot of how teams are trading or like schemes they're wanting to roll with or coaches. There's a lot of different outcomes, definitely for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, man. I don't know, man. I don't know about Caleb Williams, man. Like I seen, like I said, I am more of a supporter of him than you are. If you watch this program, you know Brandon is not the most Caleb Williams friendly person, but he knows.
Says the person short.
like, okay, like we're not, like I said, like you're not the most Caleb friendly person. I'm kind of I'm on the fence. Like I've seen his arm talent, and that's like undeniable. Like
Yeah,
I
I
don't
agree.
think we differ on that at all. Like I
Mm-mm.
think we understand how good he really is. All right, but it's just like, what else is he? What else is he? Like, is he just a guy
Exactly.
that has talent? Is he Jeff George, or is he gonna be Peyton Manning? Is he Ryan Leaf, or is he Peyton Manning? Because at the end of the day, Jeff George was really good. Ryan Leaf was really good in college. Peyton Manning was really good in college as well. So it's like, what person is he gonna be? You know what I'm saying? And if we're talking about black quarterbacks, who's he gonna be? You gonna be Steve McNair? Big guy, big arm. Really invested in the community. One, and two, invested in the team winning. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So what is he really gonna be? Are you gonna be Jamarcus Russell? You know, immensely talented. You know what I'm saying? Not invested in the community as much and not really as invested in, the playbook and stuff, which can cause all kind of problems, right? So, what are you gonna be? You know what I'm saying? Who are you gonna be? Right? Like you're gonna have to figure out if he's your guy. You know what I'm saying? And what you're gonna get. So to your point, the pro days and the combine are gonna be big things because they're gonna interview this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, man. If you're in an interview process, this is a job interview, bro. Like, don't
It's
get me
true.
wrong.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong. Like, look, you are about to be drafted anywhere within the top 10 picks, right? So it's not really a job interview per se, but it's a job interview to get you to where you want to go.
Yeah,
And
it's gonna be the difference between a lottery pick or not.
and if he answers the questions in a way like a John Elway ish to kind of go to where he wants to go, right?
Mm.
Because I don't know. I really don't know the guy. I don't know the guy at all. But from what he's been saying and what's been out there, he might try to manipulate where he wants to go. And look, that's not okay, but it's okay when you know where you're going, right? So like if you're a guy that's not really sure where you're gonna go, you should probably just answer the questions just generic as
Yeah.
possible. Right? Just get the job, right? Like we understand that. Get the job and then call it a day, right? But for him, he's in an interesting position to where he can manipulate the draft in a sense. Because he can say, I don't want to go to Chicago and be like, nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? And he could just fall. But that's fine because look what happened to, Mahomes. Mahomes fell to the Chiefs. So he could really fall where he wants to fall in a sense, right? And the Bears, have a chance to draft the top two picks in the draft, almost. So, they could rebuild their whole team. You could draft Odunze from Washington and uh, Marvin Harrison Jr. and have a whole. So the Bears should just draft two receivers in the first round to help out Justin Fields. I just think it works. You don't have to rebuild or anything. You just kind of keep going. And then if you wanted to rebuild, then you'll have some receivers to throw to. You know what I'm saying? But they do have two first round picks, so I wouldn't necessarily throw out the idea that, you know, you could draft a quarterback. You could trade for a quarterback. I mean, you do have a first round pick, so no. Well, no, I'm not gonna say nobody's out of the question, but I mean, if you really wanted a guy, you could go and trade for one. You know, shoot, man. Look, if the Chiefs wasn't, hey, if the Chiefs wasn't happy about Mahomes, right? You could offer them your two first round picks and your first round pick next year.
Yeah, the Bears could try to right the wrong that they didn't draft
Bro,
him in the
man,
first place.
look, man. When you got two first round picks, man, you got in the driver's seat. You got some deals you could make if you really wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong. It's like Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, people like that are off limits. But the people under them, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like if you wanted to trade like Tua wouldn't be off limits, in my opinion. If you wanted
Maybe
to,
Justin Herbert.
yeah, Justin Herbert, you wouldn't be off. It's not off limits. You know what I'm saying? For two first rounders and a first round next year, no, not off limits at all.
Honestly, I could see them shocking everybody and trading them picks and getting the hella assets, like hella picks or whatever the hell they want. Like, I could really see them trying to do maybe what Houston did last year. I got a feeling they're not drafting a quarterback, man. But I could really see Chicago shocking everybody and trading them picks and getting way more than they could have imagined for them picks. Especially that first overall pick, especially in a quarterback rich draft like we have this year.
Yeah,
Dude, I can't even imagine. Like, they could get a real dream package back
I'm
if
telling
they
you.
really wanted to. They really don't need to draft a quarterback anyway. Like you've got a quarterback. You
Yeah,
just
they
need to
pretty
build your
good.
team. Imagine if you trade them freaking picks, you get all kinds of assets, dude. You could rebuild. You could speed yourself along really quick without having the freaking, you know.
Yeah, they got a like a Oklahoma City Thunder situation, man. Bro, they got like hell of draft picks from trading Paul George and Russell Westbrook. Bro, they got draft picks for days.
That's how the Celtics were when they traded. They traded
Yeah,
with the Nets. They had hella
yeah.
draft picks.
Yeah, and you see what happened. They got to a final. So that shoot, the Oklahoma City Thunder look good now too. So and they gonna look even better as the years goes on because they got a lot of picks from teams that aren't really good right now. So
Mhm.
we'll see. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a good scenario to be in, man. But like I said, we did pretty good today, man. You know what I'm saying? Sucks. My team lost, but that's all right because we checked the game. Washington's winning by a couple of touchdowns. So if it holds, we should be getting Michigan and Washington in the national championship game, which I'm not mad about. You know what I'm saying? So. And be two undefeated teams too. So just the way I like it. Undefeated, 1-0, gotta go. So I like it
Mhm.
like that. So I actually might watch it. I changed my mind. I might watch it. But we'll see, man. But good show, man. We got some college football in there. We got some NFL in there, man. Last week of the regular season for the NFL. Then next week is the last week of college football, man. So we gonna get into the NFL playoffs, man. And then off season storylines, man, for college football, man. What are we doing? And we can have a too early playoff bracket. That'd be interesting. Too early playoff bracket. So
Mhm.
we'll see. That should be interesting. We'll see what you got to say on that one. So just some ideas we throwing out here, just trying different things, man. But other than that, we are good to go, man. Great episode. Before we get up out of here, anything you gotta say?
Yeah, man, we're doing really good right now. We've eclipsed 16,000. We're on the road to 20K. So we just want to thank all you guys for all the constant support. Thank you for all the likes, comments. For sure, the comments are really awesome. All the feedback. We had a couple of donations here and there for you guys. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all so much for the constant support. Uh, yeah, we got really good content coming, man. Once we're about to deal on college football, playoffs are gonna be crazy, leading to the Super Bowl. Once the Super Bowl's done, then guess what? Like you said, we got all season storylines. We've got the draft to talk about. We've got recruiting. We've got coaching carousel. We've got transfer portal, all that good stuff. But for the time being, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you don't miss a beat. Like you said earlier, we have tons of other content: college, pro, top fives, what ifs. The shorts have really been funny and really, really good lately. If you guys really want to check those out, it'd be really appreciated. And like you said earlier, we're on all platforms. We're on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, all that. Pop it in your ear. Listen to the episodes while you drive, work out, stuff like that as well. But yeah, man, really grateful, really thankful. And like I said before, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and join us for the ride.
All right, couldn't have said it better myself, man. But all right, this is Cam. That's Brandon. Football for Mind podcast signing off.